interesting piece. The Citizen Aqualand BN2031. This is an Eco Drive Citizen diver, 200 meter waterproof. It comes from a series, different colors. There's a red or a reddy orangey version. There's a Pepsi version, which I did a review previously. That's this one. It's basically identical apart from the coloring. There's also one with, this one has this baby blue depth dial. There's another one that comes in a yellow dial version. So this is the, let's call it baby blue. Color scheme here is black, white, and this quite light blue color. The dial is just a black without any let's say highlights there. It's kind of matte black dial. So this is an Eco Drive, which is powered by a lithium battery, and it gets the energy out of daylight, artificial light or natural light through a photo cell and charges this battery. It has 11 months of power reserve, which is very good. As you can see on the left hand side, we have a little charge dial or charge indicator, which is currently on the upper end, so it's almost full. I've been wearing this watch outside the last couple of days, so it's been at that level more or less most of the time. It obviously doesn't, let's say, charge the last few percent that quickly. The ready labeling that you can see around about the 10 o'clock position, that is actually intended for diving. Means if we have a water sensor there. If this is wet, then it will go to the ready position, which indicates that you can now start diving, and then the blue dial will then indicate the correct depth. This goes up to a depth of 70 meters, which is certainly enough for any recreational diver. The accuracy, I wouldn't bet on it. If your life depends on it, not sure whether you would really use this as, let's say, as a reference. I guess the watch is ISO 6425 certified, but that I'm not sure that will include the calibration of the depth meter. But for sure, it's an additional display. It can be used as a general reference, or of course for skin diving, to let you know more or less how deep you've gone. It's a big watch. It has 46.1 diameters in millimeter diameter, 16.4 millimeter thickness. So it's quite a big watch. The weight is over 200 grams, 213 grams I think are with this version, which comes on a stainless steel bracelet. The other version, which I did show in the past with the silicone strap, this one comes in at 135 grams if I'm not mistaken. So the stainless steel bracelet certainly adds a lot to the weight. But it wears really comfortable. As you can see, the crown, the screw down crown at the 4 o'clock position is perfectly placed there to not dig into the wrist. So when you're wearing it, it is really comfortable. We have a sign crown with a Promaster sign there, indicating the Promaster heritage, which according to Citizen is a series of sports watches, which either for aquatic, land or air use. So there are different versions here carrying the Promaster signage. The Eco Drive, as mentioned, is actually a quartz movement, so that's why you can see the seconds hand jumping from second to second. I must say the Eco drives are really good in terms of accuracy, plus minus 15 seconds per month, so really no issues there. And simply this maintenance-free system that allows for many years, up to 10, 15 years of operation for this watch. It really saves a lot of batteries. Obviously, Citizen has saved millions of batteries since implementation of the system. So it's a win-win situation. We have a maintenance-free watch, and Citizen basically can market that as a contribution to a greener environment or to an eco-friendly system. If you don't really, let's say, have some kind of problems with the quartz movement, if you prefer automatics, of course, then this will not excite you as much, maybe. But if you don't have any problems with that, then you'll get a really good dive watch here with all the specs that you would expect from a dive watch. The screw-down crown here is for the time adjustment and date adjustment. We have a nice framed window there, date window, only a date complication, but very nicely done. It's not just a metal frame, it's some kind of a designed metal frame with a little nipple on one side, and then actually on the other side we have the loomed little application, which is necessary for the ISO 6425 certification, among other things, of course, but that is one of the requirements. On the other side we have the depth sensor, and we have two screw down pushers which activate this dive dial or depth indicator. You can, once you activate it, it will show you the last depth, the deepest depth that you went to. Let's see what this watch says. Yep, doesn't work. Okay, there it goes. 60 meters. So this seems to be some kind of a pre-setting. On the other watch that I have, it goes to 60 meters, even though I've never been to that depth. So it's some kind of a default setting, which probably will be overridden if you dive to a certain depth. Right. So let's say let's get to the bezel, which is an aluminum insert with a loomed pip at the 12 o'clock position. The only gripe would be it's a 60-click bezel, so not really the standard you would expect from modern dive watches nowadays. Everything would be 120 clicks. This is 60-click unidirectional, but it works. It more or less, it lines up, so no issue there. It has a nice coined edge, easy to grab. The crystal is mineral glass, so no sapphire crystal on this watch. This is more or less price-wise, maybe an intermediate or an entry-level diver. They are, sure, they're probably not the cheapest, but compared to other dive watches, they are very economical. So I guess that's where some of the costs are saved. One thing would be the crystal, and maybe this 60-click bezel, which probably will be upgraded sooner or later, but currently that's the way it is. But other than that, it's a beautiful watch, nice design. It really has a huge wrist presence, and it's functional, it works. We have a screw-down case back with a typical Citizen. Can you see that? The lighting is not so good, so it has this globe on the bottom, How can we see that now? Yeah, it has this kind of globe there, and just some recommendation not to open it yourself, to go to service center, which is, I guess, yeah, well understood. Right. But what I really miss is some kind of a nice maritime reference there, some kind of a logo or something that would really bring out the character of the watch. That globe is somewhat, I don't know, not very exciting, even though it probably is this reference to the eco-friendly, eco-drive system. One of the great things of this watch is the bracelet, if I may say so. For this price class, we have a nice stainless steel bracelet. As you can see, I have some scratches here. I took it to the beach the other day. Got swirled up in some sand, in some waves with some sand, so that was not the best idea to take this. So that's a learning. Sand will scratch almost anything. But it's a very nice bracelet. We have this, what do you call it, the keeper here, this flip over safety catch, and then we have a double pusher safety system here which opens up, and then we have a milled clasp, which is quite surprising for this price class, where Seiko, for example, would never give you a milled clasp. They'd only give you a simple stamped clasp. So that is first surprise, and then there's a second surprise, which is even, let's say, more astonishing. The watch has a dive extension, which is activated by these two pushes, and then yeah, it's a ratchet system. So it's a ratchet dive extension system here, which is really amazing at this price point. I mean, this Seiko only offers this kind of extension system at the for the Marine Master. I mean, at this price point, Citizen really doing an amazing job here to offer that. That's really convincing, really good. Okay, so I guess that more or less covers this watch. If you're really interested to get a let's say a watch that an affordable dive watch for everyday use, which is very robust, very maintenance free or low, accurate, and really will go anywhere with you. It'll take a lot of beating, and simply something which will also have a good wrist presence, then this is the right watch for you. Okay guys, thanks for listening. Peace out. Bye.